phone.
Okay, and we are live. How's it going, everyone?
Ooh.
I love my friends. I love my friends.
For how much longer? Good question.
Until they,
Will really depend on how this new leg of
it really depends on how this session goes, I guess. First impressions are everything.
First impressions really are everything. Alright, so like I was saying earlier, tonight's our session 0 for our pirate-themed campaign tonight. Thanks everyone for making time to come play. Gonna be a short one tonight. We're mostly gonna be doing just like the starter scenario, getting everyone acquainted, and setting the stage for the next leg of our campaign. But about it. Everyone ready for us to start?
Cool.
Do we do the ad now, or do we do it during the break?
Probably never. But
Quick, Dennis, sing us a song about D&D Beyond.
It's there. Go sign up now.
it's there. Use D&D Beyond. All right, cool. Without further ado, night settles in as an eerie calm sort of spreads across the ocean. The lone ship slowly travels, sloshing its way through strangely violent waves. Moon, full and bright, shines down turbulent ocean. The shipwreck barge, relatively well-known ferry, marches its way towards its first stop, and usually last stop as far as people know, as we head towards the most uncharted waters of this world. From the ship, sounds of general revelry can be heard. Passengers are slowly celebrating, drinks to be had as they await to get to the main dock. Music in the background. A couple of unsavory gambling games happening in the background. As far as anyone can tell, seems like a relatively rowdy, but overall peaceful affair. Ship is relatively large, enough to house about, at least comfortably house the 30 or so wannabe swashbucklers that are on it. Folks full of dreams of riches and new worlds that they've yet to see. One particular passenger, large in build, likely human from what you can tell, light-skinned, drunkenly stumbles through the main deck, bumping into person after person. But finally, they bump into a figure that was just kind of standing off to the side, minding their own business. Kind of muscles in this person. Oi! Why don't you watch where you're fucking going? Looking up this orcish figure, and before you get to your response, Ben, would you like to describe your character?
Sure. She is I guess on the shorter side for orcs, like 5'10", 5'11". Skin more on the gray side than the green side of orcs. Lean, but still very muscular. She's mostly just wearing, her hands and feet both have just wrappings with, like, spiked metal plates on them. She has, like, a hammered metal chest plate on top of wrappings, then, like, leather and different hide, like, waistband stuff on the legs. She also has a mask on her face that's just blank white with a red handprint in the middle of it. And her hair is pretty long, goes down to about her waist. It's black and in thick braids. And she has, you can't see under the mask, but you can assume on her face and also on her chest and back and forth and shoulders and arms is a intricate white tattoo looking thing. On closer inspection, if you were to look, you wouldn't actually be sure if it was a tattoo or a birthmark. But it looks too deliberate to be a birthmark, so... But yeah, that's what she looks like.
Oh. Thank you for the description. As this unsavory patron bumps into you going, "Watch where you're fucking going!" It's like real up close in your face. Just stinks of old meat.
She just puts a hand on his chest and pushes him away from her with a solid shove, and then just goes back to watching the water. Doesn't say anything to him.
Okay. With unexpected ease, despite how big he is, this fellow kind of goes reeling back a few feet. He goes, "Ugh. Hey, you looking to start a fight?"
I'm looking to end one.
Okay. With that, this guy kind of still shaken from like the chest print you gave him a moment ago. He goes to take swings at you. You don't have to roll for these. They're like incredibly wild. Not even a problem to dodge it.
Can I, we're on like the edge of the boat, right?
Yep.
Can I just shoulder throw him off the boat?
Yeah, sure. Roll a d20 just because I want to see how intense it is.
Sure. 13.
Okay. This guy, not super impressive. Not even very sober right now. Goes to run, takes a few swings at you. You handily dodge out of the way, and on the third swing, you just kind of grab him by the arm and chuck him overboard. Common, more playful fights are pretty common on the shipwreck barge, considering the clientele. All pirateers are merchants looking to head their way into the new world to try and find either riches or new islands in the turning tides. And people kind of notice the immediate ruckus, see you toss this guy overboard, and it's like quiet for a few moments under the music, and then you just hear like a "Yeah!" And everyone quietly, well, not quietly, very openly goes back to their revelry as you continue to go back to minding your own business. As the music kicks up in tempo, at this point in the song, it's been like a group of kind of like thrown together music. Different parts of the ship just kind of collectively getting together to make a good time for everyone. Nothing else out here at sea. One particularly smaller gnomish woman starts to like lose beat with everyone and doesn't seem like it's been going very well for her from the start, almost like she was dragged into it. And the entire song's kind of playing off key to the point where the person playing right next to her, if you would like to describe your character, Vince.
Can you give me that description again?
Basically, playing, there's like a group of people playing music for the folks on the boat. This one particular smaller gnomish lady doesn't seem to be pulling her weight in this thrown together band. And, she's the person playing right next to you.
Okay. I guess my character is... I was thinking of being a little bit more mysterious. So I wasn't expecting to be. I guess my character has taken off their cloak.
Okay.
So they're wearing a harness with a bunch of like kind of things on it with backpack. They're playing a lyre, and it's a satyr. They're about 5 foot tall. The most noticeable thing, other than just being kind of ashen skin with dark, like coarse goat hair, is that they have like a crystalline snake wrapped around their horns. It's not a living snake; it's jewelry, but it's their arcane focus. And so, who else is playing? I guess.
It's a pretty ragtag group. It's you, this young gnomish lady. There's a taller, orcish fellow who's been managing the loot right now. There's one guy on a kind of makeshift pair of drums. This younger human fellow, doing what he can. You guys have formed like a bit of like a little impromptu band for the night. Nothing crazy. You didn't know each other beforehand. It just seemed like this place could use a couple of festivities.
And you said one of them is not really pulling their weight in the song?
Yeah, it felt like she was like, it was like okay at first for the first half of the night, but now she's kind of like petering off. She's like barely really, she's like on the flute. She's barely really doing her job.
I would like to speak into the orc's mind, and tell them that what does this person look like? The one that's slacking off?
This younger gnomish woman, she's like, kind of
Oh,
like,
the gnomish woman.
yeah.
Okay, I just need to know. So yeah, I'd like to tell the orc telepathically that the gnomish woman plans to do a fourth of the work and take most of the cut, and is planning on selling. Does this orc own an axe?
Presumably, although you're not entirely sure if it's an axe or some other type of weapon, but
So that I'll just say that this gnome I had heard, or that they just may have remembered that they heard this gnome say that they would sell this orc's axe if they could find it. And then I'm going to step behind the gnomish lady and just kind of look really exasperated by how much I'm playing my lyre, and then look at the orc kind of like, yo, what are we going to do about this? Like, I'm just going to give like a lot of like facial like indication that like this sucks. Like, what is this? This, like, what's all this then?
okay. Make a persuasion check.
Okay. First roll of the night. Let's go. 12.
Okay, 12. Luckily, as you speak into this guy's head and then go on to make kind of like the like visual representation of what he's been hearing, you like, amidst the music, you seem to verbally hear him go to himself, "What? Really? But that doesn't seem right." And then he looks to you as you like that's your sentence finishes. He's like,
As he looks at me, I would like to. Can I
Dennis, you want a break?
cast minor illusion to put like an orc face on a patch and then a big X over it on like the gnome's like back pocket?
make a performance check.
Sick. Let's fucking go!
Describe the illusion to me one more time.
So as the orc is looking at me and then looking back at the gnomish lady, just what is she wearing?
Simple kind of adventurous clothing. She's got some leathers on. She's like a little bit burly, presumably because, likely like everyone else here, works out in the sun a lot.
Okay. So on the back of her leathers, there's like a motorcycle patch, but it's like an orc face with extra eyes. And then on the top of it is a strong question mark, and then on the bottom it says, haha, no. And then it's just a big red X over an orc's face.
And as he sees this, his eyes go kind of like bright with like a sudden anger. And he just goes, "You'll never get my cut of the tip!" And then he like takes his fucking ukulele and just like starts to swing at her, and she's like, "Wait, what?" And like crashes into her, and she's like, "You son of a!" And then she's on this guy's fucking shoulder. They're fucking brawling all of a sudden.
And I would like to mirthfully leap out of the way and kind of disappear into the crowd.
Okay, that can be done. The one human guy there on the drums is just kind of like, okay, yeah. With chaos successfully sown. The crowd starts to like make their way around the two musicians that have recently started this brawl out on the ship. One other fellow is not too particularly intrigued by the violence. Off in the corner of the ship as a bit of like a little drizzle starts to form. Nose deep in a book. Brandon, can you describe your character, please?
Yes. He's 3'5". Simple. He's a gnome. Simple, red and blue like clothing. Just, despite the colors, the clothes don't look that fancy. And then, red. He's got auburnish hair, and he's pretty skinny, and compared to everyone else who's like sunburned, as you said, his skin's rather pasty. He looks like he don't go out that much. Dark circles. Oh, and he's got a wand attached to his head.
As you're reading your book, trying to pass the time as the ship slowly approaches Darkstar Cove, where you all are headed, the fight gets somehow polarizes this way towards your side of the ship, and someone gets fucking tumbled past you very swiftly, knocking your book out of your hand, almost flying off board.
I immediately, as the book is still midair, I leap at my book.
Okay, I would like you to make a dex save.
Oh, you're mean.
Imagine I cast
Okay.
Fireball.
Let's see. That is 1d20. Oh, okay.
Nice. You make a swift jump up, go to grab your book midair. You're about to almost kind of collapse off the deck, but luckily you end up just knocking into someone by accident. And you look.
And I Oh, okay. Continue.
You look up, and it's it's the same character that Ben had described earlier.
I look down immediately. Sorry, and I'm stuttering over words it was him, and I point at the one who knocked the book out of my hand.
It is currently the young gnomish musician from before, just on the floor, tussling with this.
I'll look down at Brandon's character with my faceless visage and just look at the person he points at.
I am unnerved. I step back slowly, she's a dangerous monster. And I basically try to find somewhere away from the fight, but now I'm no longer reading. I'm watching to make sure someone doesn't hit me.
Okay. You kind of make your way to the other side of the deck. A couple of crewmen are walking by, seemingly doing routine maintenance around the cannons and the sails, making sure that everything's on course. Then, as you start to settle down, you feel this, what was once a drizzle, seems to be almost like a light snowfall. And all three people that I've mentioned so far can make a perception check right now. So, Vince, Ben, and Brandon.
It's snowing.
He said perception.
Yep, perception check.
Yes. That is my perception. Not good.
21.
Okay. Ben and Brandon, what you two notice as, drizzle slowly seems to start to turn to snow is kind of put your hand out as to inspect to see if it's actually as cold as it seems to be. It seems like a fairly nice night out, so this is a little strange, but as the first fall starts to touch your skin, it feels sharp to the touch.
Scheisse.
And then, noticing that, you kind of look up at the sky, and it seems at first the clouds start to cover over the moon briefly for a second, and then whatever clouds are hanging overhead start to be lowering slowly, until you hear kind of like from the top of the rafters of this ship. I forget what they call that. I have to look at some boat lingo. But you're like, Captain! Looks like we have some debris!
Debris?
Then, coming off from like the top near the wheel of the ship, this black-dressed, younger, dark-skinned, maybe like a fellow. His ears seem to got a little bit of Elven in it. This long, grizzly, brown beard. He kind of looks up like, oh, well, and here I thought we'd have a quiet night tonight. Seems like anyone on board's in for quite the treat. And almost, kind of as soon as like that's within earshot of whoever was even paying attention, these clouds start to lower sky more rapidly and more alarmingly. And as this is happening, off in the distance, a smaller ship is unknowingly trailing behind shipwreck barge. There's like a little bit of a obscurity of vision through like this like low-hanging mist out of this part of the ocean, and the lone woman kind of laying down in her boat, gazing up at the sky almost, and occasionally glancing at her compass, which seems to be spiraling out of control. Dennis, can you describe your character, please?
I'm wearing the traditional prerequisites necessary for any pirate campaign. You got the hat, you got your long brown coat. I'm wearing the scale mail on my persons. The most distinctive feature about me would probably be that I'm particularly green looking. Not color-wise, just like inexperienced.
Okay. You've been sailing for a few days now, and the last thing you remember is you're asking about a certain spot on a certain map you have. The most recent thing you heard was it was probably likely a location somewhere in the Turning Tides. So, thinking not much of it, you hopped back on your boat and sailed off in the general direction towards the first islands that marks. Unfortunately, your compass hasn't really worked in the last 2 days. And you're not really sure why. You've been adrift for a little while, and seemingly just kind of like letting the ocean take you, and you look off. Instead of towards the stars, you look towards further down in the sky, and you see this large cloud-like mass falling closer and closer to the ocean. And as it starts to break near the ocean, the mist kind of scatters from the momentum of it, and you see this other larger ship off in the distance. And what you all see at the same time is, after this sharp snow seems to fall for a little bit, and the cloud starts dropping more rapidly, snow slowly turns into something similar to almost pebbles. And then you see these whole chunks of splintered wood start rapidly falling from the sky. As the cloud breaks up in the sky itself, this greenish glow envelops higher scenery. In the form of a battered ship comes soaring towards the shipwreck barge, almost with like this open maw at the helm of the ship, screaming its way through the sky.
How toothy is it?
Relatively, I would say. It looks more like an ornament, but it doesn't seem... It's obviously hard to tell from here. And without warning, as this thing's dropping from the sky, it crashes through the barge, rips off into the ocean for a little bit, and seems to swallow your ship whole. Dennis. You all wake up.
You're expecting him to say roll another character?
I knew none of us should have gotten on a boat called Shipwreck.
You fools!
What do you mean, fools? We didn't get a choice.
You all wake up.
It was either this or the boat by Fellatio.
You all wake up, inspecting your surroundings, not really sure what had happened to you previously. Glance around. And a lot of bodies. Some folks seem shipwreck barge you were on before. And most of them seemingly not alive. But the four of you who I've mentioned, kind of sitting up strangely around the same time, look and make eye contact, and it seems like you're on this green-tinted, almost spectral-looking thing. The surroundings are unfamiliar, and the ship seems tattered in pieces in many parts. It's maybe a little bit smaller than the shipwreck barge, those of you who were on it previously. But there's maybe about 4 or 5 unconscious or dead bodies sprayed out across the ship. Some in pieces, some more intact. And the 4 of you.
Do I see the captain?
Nope. In fact, make a perception check for me, Brandon.
Okay.
Since you were curious about that first.
Huh. I don't see nothing.
Strangely enough, it's actually it's not that hard to notice. You look off in the distance and you're inspecting your surroundings, a little shaken at first after what just happened, and it seems like the barge is off in the distance, comfortably sailing away. Not at a brisk
Oh!
pace, but it's gaining.
I say, oh! And I point at the boat.
And the 3 of you who I've mentioned already hear this young gnomish man scream.
Oh!
Are you okay?
It's leaving!
Can I just?
And I go, after testing the footing,
And then it's like.
is the boat, like, you know, mostly solid? Like, it feels like a boat?
Yeah, seems like you all have ground to stand on here. Creaks a lot, like, but seems like you're okay for now. You're stable.
I go to the edge of the boat, and I start screaming at the boat, come back!
After kind of examining my surroundings a little bit, I'm gonna go over to all the still unconscious / dead bodies and see if any are still alive.
Okay. You walk a little ways forward, and see the gentleman you threw overboard earlier. Cut cleanly in two, it looks like. He's not alive. You see another body, more intact, kind of like turn them over. As soon as you turn them over, it looks like their guts kind of spill out from where their stomach was. You're not sure, but it looked like it was probably a passenger on the barge. And a couple of the other bodies you see crawled out now also seem to be a passenger, but
They're all very dead,
they're
though.
all very dead from the impact. Doesn't seem like this is anywhere near the full capacity of the ship, though. It seems like it was just a handful of folks. And off in the distance, you see what looks like a strange metal mechanism, almost like a suit of armor.
Do any of you know how we switch ships?
I start looking through my own book, which has no knowledge of ships.
Dennis, you're still muted, by the way.
I have no idea. Absolutely none.
Oh, Vince, you're also muted, by the way.
Oh no,
Should I
Vince.
mute too?
Well, actually, Joe, at this point, since at the very least Utica has noticed, you can describe your character
Hell yeah.
for the conversation. You're like very much so still asleep.
Yeah. Alright. So it's a Warforged, but not any modern Warforged. This one looks like he's really, really old. So he's it's been there quite a while. and you can tell that it's been at the sea a long time because it's covered in like rust, patches of rust and barnacles and seaweed. Strangely enough, though, the little hat they have, perfectly intact, and you're not really sure how. By all accounts, it doesn't make any sense. But other than that, it's a big lumbering robot.
Okay.
That
Was this here before?
This metal man looking thing?
Yeah.
It was on the ship when you woke
Oh,
up.
okay.
Yeah.
yeah, on this ship.
On
yes.
this ship, not on the barge.
Oh, on this. So no. So it wasn't on the barge.
Yes.
Yeah.
As far as you know.
Well, seeing that none of these other survivors will be of any use to me, I will start kind of stalking around the ship, looking for any indication of how I got here.
Make an investigation.
I mean, that's just a D20. 5.
So as to how you got here, you're not entirely sure. You look around, and this is, from what you can tell at a brief glance, this is definitely the ship that came soaring through the sky earlier in the barge. But as for how you ended up here, I'll say each make a history check.
History.
Another 5.
Hey, we're on a roll tonight, baby.
Another 5.
8.
I've been busy.
Yeah, he said he was doing asthma treatment.
I see. Okay. 13. So the person that comes closest to even remotely knowing Hellpod. And Brandon, you vaguely remember in your research before coming out here to kind of the starting point of Turning Tides, before you even set foot on the shipwreck barge, you heard rumors of potential dangers on the ocean that, even if you're aboard the shipwreck barge, could make their way out to this part of the sea. One such rumor you did hear, although you didn't think to this degree it would be, was of a ghost ship or two.
I keep repeating to myself, I should have never left my island. I should have never left my island. I never should have left my island. And then, so the barge now, it's pretty far out, right?
It's actually, no, it's still within, like, again, it's going pretty slowly. It's still within vision right now. And it hasn't actually gone very much farther from where you saw it a few moments ago.
Can I see the captain on the ship, like a body?
On this ship?
No. On the barge. Do I see anyone?
Oh no, you can't see people. You could just see the
Oh.
ship. It's still like far enough that you can just see the ship itself.
Shit. Okay. I turn around and I start looking for anything like, is our ship moving?
It seems pretty still for now. It's actually, upon further inspection, it's like, it seems still at first. It's slow, but it's like drifting, like luckily not away from the barge, just like drifting kind of perpendicular to it.
Can I go to the front of the ship and see if there's anything in front of us?
Sure.
I'll go to the front.
Let me give you all direct control.
What is it called? The bow? The bow of the ship?
Our homework, doing ship anatomy research.
I didn't go to the Naval Academy. Fuck this bullshit.
That's
Isn't the front the bow?
port to starboard. I don't know. I don't know yet. Working on it.
Starboard is right. I think port is left.
As you make your way to the front, Brandon, you also notice the metal humanoid-looking thing, and as you walk past, its eyes start to light up.
I run back immediately and take about like 10 steps away,
Okay.
and then take out my wand. What is this?
And in case you were unsure, you are awake now, Joe.
Yay.
First thing you hear as you kind of like creep back to the salt of the ocean is, "What is this?" off and further down the ship.
Initializing system startups.
You hear a complicated mix of whooshing noises from this metallic thing, Brandon.
Actually, as a rock gnome, I feel like I would at least know what gears sound like. And I lower my wand.
Yeah.
What are you? Can you speak?
Designation. Pyro 8.
I don't like that name.
What are you talking to?
And I look at the big orc and I suddenly like timidly
Not that
point
big.
at the.
I'm a young woman.
To me,
That's true.
Yeah, you're like double the size.
I'm 3'5". I just point at the this one, ma'am. I don't know what this is. And I just like trail off. She's intimidating.
Do you run this ship? I asked the robot.
I'm not the captain.
Because for me, I'm mainly in it for the rhythm game.
Well,
Instead of characters.
where is the captain?
Captain location unknown.
After surveying the
Another useless one. Okay. And I'm gonna walk right past the robot and start looking around over here.
Okay. You look out towards the front of the ship, and as you look over, you see kind of like what seemed like a very sharp, gnarled maw that was approaching shipwreck barge earlier. You can tell is made mostly of metal now, but inside the mouth of this ghostly vessel, another smaller ship,
I don't play
and
with audio.
on the side of the ship reads Shadow.
No.
Doesn't look broken, but it does look like it's comfortably resting in the maw of this. Oh shit.
That's fair.
Is anyone in it?
No, the vacant. There seems to be some stuff on it though. Although some.
Oh,
I try not to play rhythm games and.
Back.
Oh, that's
like,
my
I
ship.
want to go there.
oh man, that's where it is. Oh, geez.
I look up. Are you a sailor?
Yes.
And I point at the ghost ship, like at my feet. Can you drive this ship?
I turn back to the gnome as he's asking the other woman these questions. Are you not?
And I kind of like display my hands and look down at myself. Do I look like a sailor?
How do you get an whatever?
Tokyo Ghoul image. God.
I'm here for research.
I don't know. Does this ship look like it has a steering mechanism?
Where there would normally be a steering mechanism, is completely shattered.
Oh, good. Very good.
It's in not every way.
Then I will go below deck. See what we're working with here.
Okay. As you look around looking for any source of stairs to go below deck, you hear a rattling off from behind you. And Utica, you hear a similar rattling off from by you. Slowly these like pieces start to like quickly cluster together from around the ship, and and it looks like they're bones that are clustering together. And when you look on either side next to both of you, two skeletal figures appear. Let me draw
Yeah.
tokens. And I would like everyone to
Yeah.
roll initiative.
From the original MV.
Oh baby.
Ah,
4.
Song would it be? Hmm.
$22 for the bot.
Isn't this thing like barely operational? It's so fast.
Apparently, it was speed the whole time.
startup was slow.
Rusty and covered in barnacles and seaweed.
Ready to scrap.
These are yeah.
I mean, I guess being scrap itself, it is ready to scrap. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh,
Well, that's the outside. You don't know how pristine my inside processes are. I got ray tracing, bro.
not ray tracing.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds useless.
Well, the stats for the right.
Sounds like a waste of $1,000.
Listen, bro, when you start tracing these rays, you'll understand.
Hmm. Personally, I love 45 FPS.
I'm a big fan of being locked right under safety. Kind of like
What happened to not knowing what he was talking about?
Oh, I swear I don't. I just saying it sounds like something that would do these things.
I'm not even here,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Okay. Top of the turn order is Pyro 8. you have
Self-detect.
you have initialized. You notice hostile entities in the area.
Yeah.
Hostiles detected. Engaging combat protocol. Fires a javelin at this guy.
Sure.
From my, yeah, what you guys see is one of his hands retracts into the body, and it's into a cannon, almost like a Mega Man thing, except there's a very pointy javelin in it.
And that should basically be a crossbow not block, if I remember correctly.
I thought we were just using the javelin sapla.
Oh, you're just
'Cause
gonna
I-
toss it? Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's
I
like
don't remember which.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Go for it.
20 plus 4, 21,
21 does hit. I'll roll for damage.
and damage is 1d6 plus 2. 7.
Good. You immediately fire off a javelin from your arm at this thing, and seems to strike through a good chunk of its bony body. And
Boss
up
fighting.
next will be said skeleton, and it's going to take a swing at Uruka.
Skeleton rolled higher than a 19. He's fast.
This one was kind of speed. I'm not gonna
What
lie.
the
Oh wait, I'm a rogue. I could add a sneak attack to this because there's an ally within 5.
Oh,
That right?
and there's another
Yeah, but
card
we'll
talking
count.
for
We'll do it
Alright.
next round.
Alright.
It wasn't technically engaged. It just like appeared. Now it's engaging. Yeah, it would have been if you went anywhere but first. I'd say.
Okay.
Well, try me.
This thing takes out like a raggedy old short sword and swings at Utica. It is only a 10 though.
Nope.
And swing and a miss. You dodge out of the way. And now it's your turn, Utica. And what was shorthand character was Bragg that you
Yeah, it's Sprack.
Bragg. You are on deck, my friend. But Uruka is now.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take my quarterstaff out and make a two-handed swing at him with it, and then use my bonus action to make an unarmed strike, and then part of the same motion as the quarterstaff swing, I'm gonna like roundhouse kick it.
Okay, roll the hit.
So here's for the first swing, the quarterstaff.
Oh my god, I got 1 acre current on my own.
16.
Ian, that'll hit.
When you
Okay, so
sound
that's
like
a
surprised that I'm
D8
like,
plus 4. 9 damage. And now for the kick,
No, I know it's funny.
10.
And will miss, I believe. Yes, that'll miss.
Okay.
But the 9 damage, bah! You knock into this thing pretty solidly with your staff. And actually, as you're like getting ready to go kick it, you notice that in your first strike, you actually knock this bag of bones away already. Which is why you missed.
Yeah, my foot just kind of cleaves through the empty air, like, oh, it's already dead.
You're not used to things breaking this easily, so it's kind of refreshing.
It was just a bag of bones, I guess.
Now, Sprag, you're up next, and Talus, you're on deck.
Okay. So these are the enemies, right?
Oh, no. This is presumably friend. It did just help you shoot a skeleton, but
Oh. So what is... This is enemy?
this be enemy. This be Joe.
Oh. But this is enemy.
This is enemy, yes.
Okay, cool.
Oh my god.
However, if you would like to make it an enemy,
It's just so
Bragmus is probably on high alert, but does not look addled. Maybe just kind of excited. And is going... is going to... Yeah, that'll be fine. Is going to kind of hop skip over here. Then they're going to lob a reddish purple energy kind of globule over at this thing.
okay. Roll the hit.
24.
24 definitely hits. Roll for
So-
Samahe.
It lands and hits the skeleton and kind of explodes like purpley red mist. 2 damage.
Okay.
And then as a free action, I'm going to have a voice and Uraka's heads. Oh man, that satyr thing over there? It would suck if something happened. I should protect that satyr.
We need a tiger.
And you hear this in your head, Utica.
Uh-huh.
The man himself.
I look around and see only one thing next to me.
Uh-huh.
That's my turn.
Okay.
Like
Talents, you're up.
On inscriptions.
Oh no, actually, it looks.
Yeah, it should be the Zimby, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
Zombies.
Not the
The
Zombini.
skeleton's gonna take a big, large dick swing at you.
The big Zomboni?
Zomboni. The big Zomboni is actually a small hitter. That's only a 12.
Not the little Stromboli.
Not the
12 will not hit me.
All right. Then now it is your
not.
turn, Talus.
It hit, but
I'm gonna swing my nice halberd at it.
Okay.
22.
22's good.
Oh no, what about Zimbabwe?
What about Zimbabwe? What about Stromboli?
And then I'll take my bonus action to smack it with the butt end of my my said halberd.
Oh,
Okay.
that poor Vuvuzela.
14 actually hits.
And he can make a bonus action strike. He's a monk too.
Yeah, right.
So in total, 14.
You one tap this thing. So
Goodbye, Skelly.
you like similar to the experience Uruga had. You take your stick, smack it, but you don't break it quite the first time like Uruga did. So you like swing around quickly and hit it with the back of your halberd.
Bye, Skelly.
I need to
Goodbye, boyo.
And before you even get to lift a finger, for now it looks like, Palpot, it looks like combat seems to have calmed down for now.
Okay, I get up from my crouching position, take my hands off my head,
Okay.
and I kind of just brush my clothes off. Well done.
So my guy's gonna go retrieval process and go pick up the javelin that I shot at this guy.
Yeah, you kind of lumber over to go pick it up.
Yeah.
He's a bot.
I would like to lumber over, or kind of like skip over to the bones
Mhm.
and investigate them.
Sure, make an investigation check.
He is quite literally a bot.
I'm just trying to see what's going on. That's,
The ship in the boat mouth thing. Does it look like something we could potentially get out of the boat mouth
Yeah, I mean, if you could get
if we
to
like
it,
push really hard?
if you could get to it, you probably could. It seemed really intact. Like the sails they weren't ripped or anything. Maybe like a slight scratch here and there, but they seemed workable.
All right.
Notable at this point before we go through the investigation check findings is that the shipwreck barge is still visible in the distance. Bragg, what you find as you look around is you get over to the bones, you start to pick one up just to kind of get a closer peek at it. But almost as soon as you pick it up, it kind of crumbles into this fish dust at the touch. And then as you look around, the other pieces slowly start to like meld their way back into the ship. And even the bodies that were here when you all woke up start to kind of like melt their way into hear a little rumble kind of echo throughout the ship for a moment. But
Oh,
it doesn't seem like anything's coming yet.
After seeing that happen, I go back to the front. Did someone say there was a ship in the mall before, like verbally? No.
I haven't, and I think I'm the only one who saw it.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you
I'm-
were asking.
I'm a-
I thought you were asking the other characters.
Oh. What's at the front of the ship?
Why don't you go see for yourself? And after that, I'm gonna, I guess, talk to the pirate-looking lady, Talus.
Does this have spoilers?
Hello, friend.
Hello. So there is a ship of sorts in the front of this boat. If we get it out of here, can you help me sail it? Maybe.
Probably.
It seems intact. The hard part will probably be dislodging it.
Okay. Any ideas?
Well, I was thinking,
I looked at the thumbnail.
honestly, we just,
Mm.
climb down there and push.
I like your attitude. Let's go right now.
Yes, the fates have sustained me this long. This won't be where they stop.
Alright, so I'm gonna
As
get
the-
ready to go down there right now.
As they're talking, can I investigate now that I'm at the front of the ship? What's holding the ship in place?
I'll say without even needing to make Actually, yeah, okay. Roll an investigation check. Actually, you're talking about the smaller ship, right? In the maw.
Yeah, what's in the maw?
Okay.
Investigation check
My first one
is...
is.
Oops. Okay, 14.
14. It looks as though the ship is kind of resting in this tooth-like structure of the larger ghost ship. And from what you can tell, the main reason it's not damaged as such is because it's somehow caught in such a way that the teeth come down almost at the perfect angle to hold the ship in place. Kind of like you were taking 2 fingers and grabbing it like this, but not breaking any part of it. It's not impaled.
So it's just like teetering between, like, kind of caught between like a pincer, a gentle pincer.
Yeah, like a gentle pincer.
How far is it from where we're standing to the maw?
About like 6 or so feet down, but you're not sure what foothold you have once you like climb down there. If you can, you have to get a closer look before you can know for
Because
sure.
they said they were gonna fix it last time, and then everyone was just like,
I turned to the orc lady. Orc lady? Miss? Ma'am?
Lady. What?
And I point to the 2 teeth. I think if we lock it loose, it could damage the ship. So we should be very careful. But I think we can get off using this boat.
Well, any suggestions?
Oh, hey, that's my boat.
And
Oh, it is?
That's where it went.
by background, how many of you are like versed enough, besides Talus, in travel by boat?
Absolutely none.
I mean, this planet's pretty much all islands, right? I just kind of assumed we all would be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I never left my island. This is
So
my
it's like
second boat
the
out
only
the
way to
war.
travel.
Okay. So, yeah. So most of your travel enough that you see like a bunch of different vessels. I would say, having inspected the front enough now at this, you've heard of kind of strange, like, kind of capture vessels used by what's effectively like this world's navy to track down outlaw ships and kind of snatch them up without doing much harm to them. While the proper title escapes you, there is a mechanism that's supposed to be able to clamp and unclamp things in the ship's maw.
Like a control system inside the ship.
Yeah. Yeah. And after having looked this up and down enough, even though this is kind of a strange ghost ship, it looks similar enough in design.
Guys, I think we got pinched by the feds.
I didn't do anything. I came here to study. This is my study abroad.
This is my spring break.
I don't know
My
what
name-
you're coming to uncharted waters just to study, but good luck.
Alright, I'm gonna go back to looking for that way below deck again then, because it seems like it's gonna be important.
While she's searching the ship, I want to like tie some rope I have onto like a hard post or guard railing on the ship, and kind of like rappel into the maw
Okay.
to inspect around where it's grabbed Talus's boat.
alright,
You settle the harness, and you're just kind of like, are you settling it on part of the ship, or are you having someone hold it?
I mean, is the place the boat's trapped in like big enough for me to just like stand in there?
A little dark, but from what you can tell, if it's big enough to pinch the boat, probably.
If there's some light, I have dark vision. I can
Okay.
see.
Yeah. Then you're not sure, but it looks like there's some sort of flat surface underneath the bottom half of the map.
Okay. Well, while keeping hold of the rope, I'm gonna try to swing in there and just stand up.
Okay, and you're anchoring it on part of the ship. The rope.
Yeah, like on like the whatever the fucking pointy bit on the prows of ship is.
Okay. All right. So like over here.
Like this thing. Yeah.
I guess
Okay.
I'll opt out.
So you.
And I'll give it some hard tugs first to check to make sure it's not just gonna like fall off.
Yeah. So as you start to tie this rope to this part of the tip, you pull to test for weight, and the plank comes right off almost immediately. And then, like as it kind of like starts to swing through the air, it like strangely creeps and reattaches back onto the front.
Like it flies back up.
It flies away as you pull it, like oh, and then whoo, comes back down and reattaches.
Launching rope.exe, and I shoot a rope out of my hand.
So basically, like you're holding the rope out now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a rope.
So after trying to tie it to the mast, you see this robotic figure on the ship go beep, boop, pff, like a rope shoots out of his arm.
I approach it. Fascinating.
Does it? This thing wasn't described in the best shape. Does it look like it can hold me?
Can I do a investigation on that then? I could try.
Let me answer Ben's question first. At the very least, it was sturdy enough to launch that harpoon soundly in combat. You remember seeing since it was so close to you. As for investigation, yes, go ahead, Telpot.
He's technological, so I'm gonna use Artificer's Lore.
Puzzle.
Okay, interesting.
It just adds twice my proficiency bonus to a history check.
Sure.
So that's 8 now total. See if you can hold the weight or what you are. Oh, okay, there you go.
Okay. Well, it's definitely.
Can he hold?
Well, it's definitely a much older model, maybe dating back to almost like 100 years ago or something. This is a mechanism that's still pretty frequently used today in like modern robotic figures and the like. It's effectively kind of like the Swiss Army knife of arm weaponry. And generally, these ropes are pretty reliable. This one that he just shot out looks a little shoddy and worn, but if it's like anything from modern day, can be replaced with new rope.
I'll hold out the rope to the orc woman. Do you trust this?
I don't trust anything about this.
We could replace it with your rope.
Sure.
And then I'll
hand the gnome my rope.
I take the rope and I look at the robot. Do you mind?
I'm fine with fingerless gloves, but Victola has a glove
Proceed.
with one finger.
Okay, I'm gonna like motion him to like kneel down, and I take his arm, and I'll tinker tool repurpose the ropes.
Okay. He's letting you do it, so it's easy enough to like again, like you go through his mechanism. There's a little bit of rust here and there, but you find where the rope is anchored, hook the old one out, and slot the new one in. Enough.
Okay, and then I clamp it together, and I pat him on the thigh, and I think he's ready, and I hand out the rope.
Okay. As Udica's getting ready to rope down, Palace, you said you were checking under deck. Let's flash over to that quick. Is anyone accompanying Talus?
Oh yeah, I remember now.
That's me. I'll take a second to activate my Divine Sense.
Okay. Remind me what Divine Sense checks for again?
It's undead, fiends, and what's the last one? Celestials within 60 feet. Not behind total cover.
Okay. So, as for undead, yes, for sure. All around you. This entire vessel seems to be undead.
Very good.
Every other checkbox, luckily, no.
And she just keeps this to herself.
Oh, she can't share this information with us right now.
And as you descend into the lower deck while the others are figuring out how to get to the ship up above, creep down, and it seems, while old and worn, this underdeck area seems somewhat well kept. There's not much here. It looks like there were doors and passages off to the left and the right that have since been kind of like almost cut off, completely boarded up. But there's one door at the end of the hallway that looks packed. We're mirroring the top of the ship. It would be heading towards the mouth.
Okay. But they're nasties all around here.
Well, the nasties are here.
I just don't see them.
No, like it's the ship itself. The whole thing.
That makes more sense.
The whole thing.
The whole damn thing. Okay. Well, then we're gonna go for it.
Okay. You head off the door. I'm assuming you go to open it.
Yeah. No, wait. I'll knock first.
Okay. Just like
Yeah.
no response.
All right. Let's open it.
Okay. As you open it, you're greeted with what you expected to be somewhat of a control room. It seems more like a captain's quarters almost.
Hey.
There's the remains of a completely skeletal figure at this point in a chair
Oh.
off behind the desk, not moving for now. Clutter every which way. Portraits of all random shapes and sorts of different folks across all races on these portraits. Worn barrels and books that have long since lost most of their pages scattered across the way. There's a window that leads through here, and it looks like you can see your ship through that window. From what you gather, at the heart of this maw is actually the captain's quarters.
Okay. I guess I'll take a look around, see if there's any mechanism that I believe could release the ship, and also keeping my eye out for any valuables, of course.
Make an investigation check.
Investigation?
I was watching the stream and
You blind motherfucker!
It's fucking dark in here.
Yeah, it's
It's you like stumble around like what's up, and you fall head first for a second. Fit your face fully into the skeletal figure at the desk. Mouth agape like.
Oh, sorry.
Its body like falls apart right there.
Oh shit. Does he have a name tag?
No, but then the mouth starts kind of moving on the floor.
Oh.
Treasure. And then the jaw glows black for a moment.
Okay, so we're just gonna look for the mechanism. Forget about looting anything.
have I made it into the maw yet?
Back to you. Talus can't see this because she's kind of bumbling around. Uruka, at this point, you've kind of like hovered in front of the ship now, and you can see that there's like kind of a place to like get footing in front of the ship, and you see there's a window all the way out towards the back. And
Can I see Talus through the window?
it's a little dark, but because of your dark vision, you can be like, "Hey," you see an outline that you can make out to be hers.
I see the silhouette of the hat.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess I'll try to find footing inside the maw near our little boat.
Okay.
Do I succeed?
Yep, no, you're fine. At this
Okay.
point, like again, you have to like worm past like the teeth, but they're not that sharp around the edges because it's rounded. And you like pretty successfully make your way in, setting the rope off to the side.
Okay. I'll give the boat a few like testing. We'll just kind of like grab and kind of push a little bit, see if it moves at all.
Doesn't budge right this second. Gather that kept going, you'd cause unnecessary damage. But it looks like if you were to lift the teeth somehow, then you could probably push out pretty easily.
I guess I'll knock on the window.
Alice, you hear a knock as you've recently fallen on the skeleton.
Knock something else over.
You hear like a glassy knock.
Hey.
Any luck?
Any luck? I'm asking the DM now.
Yeah, so as you're looking around, you do see behind this captain's desk, you see this kind of rusted over lever mechanism.
Sweet. I'm a poet.
Okay.
Bobbin.
So you pull it, and teeth start to like creep up and like kind of like recede into the ship a little.
I give Erica a thumbs up.
I'll nod at her and get behind the boat and try to push it off.
Okay. Make a strength check.
Ten.
Okay, so you make some good progress. Like, it's starting to budge quite a bit, and you make about halfway progress. With one more good little tug, you kind of like knock it off the maw into the ocean ahead.
Okay. I'll turn back and give like a nod at the window. And then dive into the water next to the ship.
Okay.
And then climb up onto the ship in the water.
Alice, as you pull that lever, you hear like a rustling behind you. And as these bones slowly start to reform back together. Pressure.
No, that's my ship.
It's time for the 1v1.
Oh. I guess I jumped already, huh?
No siege repelling into the window.
Well, roll initiative. Remember, the window is still behind you, Talus.
It's an option.
Oh, I accidentally rolled here. Well, now you know.
You get fucked first.
Well, I mean, we were gonna find out anyway, right?
So, this spectral captain, question mark, gets to make the first move on you. Takes another similarly rusted sword and like tries to take a quick slash at you. That's an 18.
Oh, that will hit.
8 slashing damage.
That's a lot of slashing damage.
A lot of slashing damage.
Hey.
Yo, that's kind of nuts.
Mhm.
We're gonna take the window option.
You're gonna jump? You gonna cry? Tobey Maguire. Fucking Tobey Maguire.
I might, depending on what's at the other end of this window.
Okay. Alright, so it's your turn. You're looking to break through the window right now?
Yep.
Go. Bust through the window. Make a athletics check for me. See how well this goes. It's
18.
fragile enough that you're going to automatically break it. So you burst through the window, land on your feet. You're good. Seems okay at first. The glass actually starts to reform behind you. You're like,
Huh.
okay. And you fucking bolt, I'm assuming.
We're getting out of here.
The rest of you on deck still see that the other two have made it to the smaller ship and gotten out of the maw. What would you like to do?
One significantly more frantic than the other.
I think we got the boat loose! And I start trying to, like, zip from the rope that he's holding.
Okay.
And how the rope goes to the mall?
Yeah, it's lowered in front of the maw. You're gonna have to swim for like a brief second.
Yeah, the rope's now just kind of dangling there over the water.
Okay. I was like, and I just jump into the water.
Okay.
And then I'm paddling. Save me!
Brian, you doing the same thing?
Well, can you describe the? I'm trying to picture what's going on again. Because like, is it directly beneath the front of the boat?
Yeah. So here, I'll put a little dinghy token I found out. Where?
Also, we're not.
Yeah, we're still on the picture of the cabin.
Yeah. Sorry. Here. Now I'm just getting it ready. There you go. So at this point, yeah, y'all can just like cluster around it.
Is this accurate?
Oh, that's a real ass
This
dinghy.
is about
Huh?
accurate. I don't know if you like. If you'd probably be over here if you were waiting with the others. I'm assuming, right?
I wasn't. I was at the back of the boat looking at the water. But
Oh, okay. Like, you hear from the front of the ship, they got the boat loose.
yeah, and I'll kind of skip my way up here. And then if this is accurate, I'm pretty sure I can just long jump this.
Yeah, you can go for it. Like go off the pointy tip and long jump. That's definitely possible.
It's also,
Yeah.
how far is the drop? Because we're all diving into the water, right?
It's about 18 feet.
So I have mirthful leaps.
Okay.
So what is my long?
So a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
Every
No, but his jump distance would only matter horizontally, but he might take some fall damage.
Yeah. It's possible. If you land directly on the boat, it might be a little bit. If you land like in front of the boat in the water, it's less likely, I think.
Like, that'll be solid.
Well, it's like what, 30 feet diagonal.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
works.
Yeah, I'll say that should be fine. For the sake of brevity, I think that should be okay. Because either way, if you wanted to, you could like just like short change it into the water and like happily grab your way back onto the boat. So either works. And last one aboard, Pyro 8. What are you doing?
Well, once everyone is done with the rope, I'll retract it into my little arm.
Hmm.
And then I will leave it into the water, and via a very small propeller, I will swim my way to the... That's the only way I can imagine me being able to swim.
Yeah, you kind of plunk down the water and very almost motionlessly kind of like broom your way over to the boat.
Just T-pose motorboat over there.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just on the boat, scooping everyone out of the water.
Yeah, this game be having bad graphics, bro. That your boat, Talus, is significantly more packed than before, but afloat.
Well, the machine is coming with us. You're not like part of that boat.
Negative.
So, well, where did you come from?
Oh, wait, the boat or me? Hold on.
You.
Hold on, I gotta access my memory real quick. You hear dialogue noises.
Initializing.
How big is this like ship? Is it like
Dennis, that's better. That's probably a better question for you, right?
It's a sloop. So it's
I dare you to call me that after code.
call you a
No,
sloop.
Dave, no, he'll get demonetized. You can't just say that.
I think they're about like 50 feet long. I don't remember the exact dimensions, but they're made to carry like
Small group.
Like
Yeah.
a fishing crew.
Not
4 to 6 people.
and it's a little tight with one of this size, but it can house all 5 of you.
As I get on the ship,
Are there any?
I see that.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I see the sword cut on Talus. I'm like, "Ugh!
Yeah, she be bleeding a little bit.
Ugh! Ugh!"
what this? It's not fine. There was a scary guy in there.
And now I vomit over the side of the ship.
Hold on, and I'm gonna pull out like a little mortar and pestle and a bag of herbs, which is my herbalism kit. And I would like to make a quick little like green brown salve thing I can cover the wound in.
Go for it. Like a medicine check, right?
I guess it'd be like a proficiency check with the tools. I don't know how tools work in 5e.
Just do that, and we'll see how effective the salve is.
they let you add your proficiency to a check? So you would be doing a medicine check, but you get to add your proficiency because of the tool.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Okay. What if I was already proficient in medicine? Then it wouldn't do anything, or
Probably.
I think with some kit, it depends on the kit. Because like for instance, like a tinkerer's kit, you can still do the up to 5 gold thing, and they might give you like your proficiency on like a sleight of hand or something. So it really kind of depends.
I don't think it has to do with ability checks. It's the kits are like a separate thing altogether. I think in 5e.
Well,
But we can get to that another. Like, yeah.
DM's ruling. Go for it, Dave. What is it gonna
well,
be?
we could talk more about it later. For now, just do a medicine check. 13.
or plus my proficiency is +5.
Gets the job done. I mean, you whip together a quick salve with what you have in your kit, and you use to cover up Talus's wound, likely disinfect it. Seems like she'll be okay.
It'll be fine. I'm only like half dead.
As people are throwing up over the side of the boat, Spragmus is going to take out their lyre on the back of the boat and just start singing, like kind of humming a shanty without any words so far.
Okay. And as you start to like relax into this music, as you're all drifting towards the bars still in the distance, behind you, you hear this strange rumbling coming from the ghost ship, and the same sound you heard earlier, Talus. Not my treasure. As the ship like starts to rise from the ocean itself, the mob becoming more lifelike now. seemingly a body deeper into the ocean attached to the ship almost. And as it starts to rise, it goes to effectively clamp down and bite on your ship.
Hey, come on.
Start sailing the thing. Let's get the hoist the sails.
Before this monstrosity bites back down into you once again, Talus, you feel a strange, almost tingling sensation in your hand.
Is it the herbs?
Besides the herbs, you look down and there's some sort of strange statuette in your hand.
Statuette in my hand?
Yeah, you're not sure when you grabbed it, but it resembles some sort of almost like a beast of the ocean. It looks kind of like a dolphin, but not really.
I look at him. You stole his treasure.
I didn't even know I did.
And as you notice it's in your hand, it like glows up for a brief. The ocean around you kind of emanating this bright light that bounces the maw away from you at first. And then the statuette disappears, and in front of the ship, this strange little dolphin.
Oh. Hello.
And as it looks at you, makes eye contact, feel a strange kinship with it. And then
Yeah.
it links. This like beam of light travels from its forehead to your chest, and then settles into the ship. And then this thing starts sailing off, and the boat goes with it.
Oh.
As this ghostly maw tries to bite at your ship, it can't quite keep up, and you're all rocketing towards shipwreck barge.
I'm holding on for dear life.
Oh, thank you for finding that, Vince.
Mm-hmm.
And while the circumstances were strange, eventually, out of sight, the ghost ship seems to fade away. And while the night didn't go exactly how you expected it, despite the chaos, you settle in to the music from Sprague's lyre again. Strange dolphin creatures seem to have whisked you away to safety near the barge. And you've caught up with the barge itself. So, at this point, while it still seems a ways off in the journey, you see the daunting image of a large island. Maybe about a few hours away at this point. And feels like it's only really just beginning. And I think that's where we're going to cut off for the night.
Woo!
Yeah.
Dennis, how close to dead were you?
I was like half dead. I wasn't kidding.
Yeah, no, that's level 1 for you boys.
And I didn't even have to fight.
Having successfully dodged death for the first time, we're going to bring you fellas up to 2.
Oh!
Woo! I feel like I was
Double
the only
health,
one that
baby.
I feel like I didn't even experience real fear yet.
I think I was the only one that really dodged out there.
How does
One of you did at least.
That's what you fucking get.
as HQ we just take what we get?
Reroll ones, but otherwise take what you get.
Okay.
Oh no round up. Uh-oh.
It's fine.
1d6. Where's my bag of dice? Oh, wait, no, I can just roll them.
And for now, I'm going to cut the live feed, but good work today, guys. And next
Shit.
week, we will be getting on with session 1, technically, of the journey. Having